What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box, we have the Lancia Statos Zero. This one dropped in Hot Wheels car culture in the Hammer Drop lineup, which I think was the first mix of 2025. So we're a little bit behind, but we are gradually catching up. So let's go ahead and see if this one is worth adding to your collection if you haven't found it yet. So let's go ahead and break it down. Let's get into our casting here. So as always, let's look at our proportions. And I'm happy to report that proportionally speaking, it's pretty solid. Like, no real complaints. It looks like a Statos Zero, which is always a big boost when it looks like the car it's supposed to be replicating. So let's go ahead and break it down here. So most of the body up here is going to be a nice die-cast metal. This giant section here is going to be plastic because it's the windshield. Coming down to the sides here, again, all metal, except for this piece here, which is, I believe, the windshield as well. I think this was like the side windows. And then you do get a metal base, as you would expect with a premium Hot Wheel. And this metal base actually is pretty intricate with the amount of details that it's got on it. Like the exhaust and everything is all molded into that. So that is very, very nice. Back here section, you have some like meshing casted in, which is cool. All this up here kind of texturized as it should be. Looks good. The kind of, I guess, door on this big window up here. Body lines replicated very nicely in that. If you were paying close attention to that real-life car, you would see that there's supposed to be like a mirror or something protruding from here. I can see why they didn't do it, but I do think it would have been cool if they had maybe like incorporated the interior piece to stick out right here to maybe look like a mirror. Could have been cool. Overall, though, I am pretty happy with the casting as a whole. For the paint and deco, this is the first release of the casting, and it replicates the kind of real-life concept, or real-life prototype, whatever you want to call it, of the Statos Zero, which is done in this bronzish orange color, which looks very, very nice in my opinion. One thing that they did get wrong, though, is that this should be a more clearer color, I would say. Again, just, I don't know, something seems a little off here. But other than that, it is replicated very, very nicely. It's got the black tampo bit right here. And yeah, just looks pretty solid. There is a silver version that is out in a 2-pack right now, if you prefer that one instead. So moving into our details, let's start up front here. So we do get a Lancia logo right there in the center, as we should. And then we get whatever this is up front. If this is supposed to be like headlights or grills, whatever it is tampoed on there. So looks good. As far as the top here, not really much to speak of. Everything that you would be there is kind of already covered in the casting section. Down the sides here, again, everything looks decent. We pretty much covered everything there is to talk about. Except for the wheels. We get like these aero disc wheels, I think they're called. Not the best, in my opinion, but probably the best that Hot Wheels offers. Can't think of a wheel that Hot Wheels offers off the top of my head that would have fit this better. But it looks okay. Coming into the back here, you do get your taillights kind of replicated there. You get a little Statos logo here, and then again, this is all meshed in. So rear section, all your exhaust is a part of the base, as we mentioned. Looks very good. There's just not a whole lot of detailing to really speak of here on this car. And that's not Hot Wheels' fault. That's just the kind of way the car is, because it's just such a bizarre and interesting car, whatever you want to say about it. But I think they did a pretty good job of making it seem realistic. Alrighty then, let's get into the roll test. And being a Hot Wheels Premium should be no surprise that it rolls, and it rolls very, very smoothly. I went ahead and put this one on the scale, and it comes out to be 35.65 grams, which makes it pretty good and pretty hefty, but a little bit lighter than your typical premium car. And that is just mostly down to the fact that the car itself is pretty small. So, still pretty good there. Pros and cons, getting things started with our pros. The first big pro is that this is, as of right now, the first Lancia Statos Zero to have been made in 1/64 scale, and that alone makes it very cool. The other big pro is that the proportions are very nice, and I think it does a good job of replicating a Lancia Statos Zero. If you have beef with this particular deco, the casting itself should be good enough that you can eventually get one that you do like. And when it comes to cons here, there are a few things I kind of want to talk about. Kind of hinted at them earlier, but So this side piece right here does not quite look right. Like, it just looks a little too dark. Now, the reason that is I think that it is a piece of the window. And I think that's because this is a window piece on the real life car. So I don't think that that really looked all that great. Like, I don't know. I don't really know how the best way of engineering that would have been. Maybe make this a piece of the interior and have it be a little bit dark, or a little bit like see-through, because I mean, you can't see the interior really anyway. Maybe that would be one way to go about it. The other way to go about it, I think, would have just been to reduce the level of tint on this window. Like, it's too dark. You can't I mean, I've got this under very bright lights, and you can very, very, very vaguely see the interior of the car. So this is just simply a little bit 2 shades too dark on the tint, and that has really kind of affected this side piece as well, and kind of given it a bad look overall. Alrighty, so for some quick size comparisons, here we have it with some other Hot Wheels Lancias that you might own, with the standard Lancia Stratus from Hot Wheels, and then the Lancia Delta Integrale from Hot Wheels. And then here we have it with some Italian cars from more premium manufacturers, with the Tarmac Works Ferrari F40 GT over there on the left, and over here on the right we have the Lancia Stratus Rally car from Mini GT. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and find some final scores. The hype level. I, for one, thought the hype level was going to be quite high on this. I was prepared to go like 9.7, but then I've seen that this one has been a bit of a peg warmer, and it seems like only the people like me who are interested in these oddball cars were actually excited for it, so I can only give it a 9.25 there. Execution, I'm only going to give it a 9 out of 10. This window piece leaves a lot to be desired. It's too dark. It makes the side bits too dark. And then it also has some scuffing on it, which is uncool. Feedback, I'm going to give it a 9.4 because those who did really want this one like me have been pretty happy and overall satisfied with what they got. But again, there's definitely been people who are more than willing to acknowledge that there was room for improvement here. When we take these 3 scores and add them up and average it out, we will be left with a 9.22 out of 10 as our overall score. And I think that's a pretty fair score. In all honesty, I am really just stoked to even have this car in 1/64 scale. It's just sort of an oddball car, and it's not really something I would have ever expected to actually get, especially from Hot Wheels. Overall, the casting is done very well. It has been replicated and scaled down pretty nicely. Proportions are good. Casting, like, details are good. Body lines are all good, so pretty happy. The windows just being a little bit too dark is kind of a flaw, and definitely is hopefully just a thing that's going to be on this release. Maybe if there's a better one down the line, you'll be able to kind of swap the pieces, drill your cars apart, swap them around, and you can get an even better look going on. I don't know. There's possibilities, though. It's not the end of the world. That being said, it's still very, very nice. And when this one came out, Hot Wheels premiums were still like $6.50, something like that. It was before they raised the price of them a bit more. So at that price point, I would definitely still recommend picking them up. At the newer price point, it's probably still worth it because you're not going to get a lot of other chances to own a Lancia Stratos Zero. And that's all I have for this review, guys. That'll do it. That'll wrap it up. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new and have not done that already, and be sure to leave a comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and I will see you guys in the next video.